John Dramani Mahama gave a speech a few days ago wishing every Ghanaian a happy new year, and we did not hear from Nigerian's President Tinubu. But it's fine. I believe he's still planning on ways he can implement the 20% personal income tax on Nigerians. So it's fine.
Really, nigga?
But in John Dramani Mahama's speech, he made mention of two particular things. First, he mentioned that Ghana is planning to leave the IMF for good, meaning that Ghana is planning not to borrow money from the IMF again.
We're beginning the process of exiting the IMF program with dignity, not as supplicants, but as partners.
He mentioned that Ghana has successfully completed the renegotiation of its debt obligation.
We restored Ghana's credibility with our international partners, successfully completed the renegotiation of our debt obligations on terms that protect our sovereignty while at the same time ensuring sustainability.
That particular statement that he made was a very powerful statement, but a lot of people didn't really understand that statement because they don't know the details behind that statement. But I made mention in the last video that I posted that I'm going to explain that particular statement into details.
Successfully completed the renegotiation of our debt obligations on terms that protect our sovereignty while at the same time ensuring sustainability.
That thing was very deep. I will explain
We're beginning
So just grab your popcorn and listen to this piece of information carefully, because bro, I'm about to bust your mind.
Get ready, get ready.
From 2007 till 2021, Ghana borrowed about 13 billion US dollars. The main reason they borrowed that amount of money was to use that money to support their annual budget and also invest the money into infrastructural projects, of which we barely saw the development of those infrastructural projects that they borrowed the money for. In 2022, Ghana totally defaulted from paying its debt, meaning that Ghana totally stopped paying its debt to the IMF, and that alone caused the country's debt to GDP ratio to reach about 93%. It was during that time that inflation was about 50%, and during that time you just plan to go to the market to buy this shirt for about 80 cedis. You reach the market, they will tell you this shirt is 100 Ghana cedi. And when they mention the price and you don't buy and you decide to go around before you come and buy, you come back and they'll tell you the dollar rate has increased and now the shirt is 160 Ghana cedis, bro. You go bust your mind. And if they mention that price and you don't buy it, bro, just forget it. You come back and meet it at 300 Ghana cedis, bro. It was a hell of a time. I swear to God, you can ask my Ghanaian brothers in the comment section, bro. It wasn't easy.
I don't think he will come back again.
So when John Dramani Mahama came to power in 2024, one of the first things that they did was they met the IMF and they immediately started discussing how best they can renegotiate their debt obligation, because bro, it was too much. The debt was just dwindling the economy, bro.
I've had it up to here.
They came to four major conclusions. The first one, IMF forfeited 37% of the debt that Ghana was owing. I don't know how they managed to do that. Let me explain. Ghana was owing 13 billion US dollars, and after the meeting that Ghana had with IMF decided to forgive Ghana and let Ghana pay 8.7 billion US dollars instead of 13 billion US dollars that Ghana is owing. That is the whole 4.3 billion US dollars that the IMF have just told Ghana not to pay. 4.3.
It can't be possible.
Secondly, IMF reduced the debt interest rate. So originally, if Ghana borrowed from the IMF, the interest rate was around 6 to 8%. But Ghana managed to talk the IMF down to reduce the interest rate from 6% to 1.5%, bro. 1.5, bro. That's insane. And thirdly, they extended the repayment period. Originally, Ghana was supposed to finish paying its debt by 2029. But after the meeting, they managed to extend the repayment time from 2029 to 2037. Bro, that is a whole 8 additional years that they have just given to Ghana to just use to repay all the debt that is owing, bro. That's insane. And the last one, they struck a repayment deal called the amortization deal. This deal means that Ghana will be obligated to pay their debt in smaller bullets until it fully pays the total debt. At first, Ghana was obligated to pay the debt in bulk, but currently they have been able to talk to the IMF to restructure their repayment process to help Ghana pay their money in bits until they finish paying. So Ghana will be paying their debt each and every 6 months until they are completely done paying their debts, bro. These people actually did a good job, and I'm not even capping, bro. One of the benefits that the restructuring deal brought to Ghana is what me and you are enjoying today. Inflation is totally down to a single number. The debt to GDP is now less than 50%. The debt to GDP ratio is now about 43% right now. And thirdly, the currency is very strong. Now you can't go to the market to buy a piece of shirt for 80 Ghana and 1 hour time they will tell you the shirt is now 150 Ghana cedis. No, because the currency is very stable. Some people are even complaining about how stable the currency is.
Sidi na nya hoden no ekun tiaye o de pejamu kakra na stabilize na mai wadaroma 14 na mani ngina ho minim se mo bo agima to force mo for so.
But even with all this, no, I can't say that all of it is blues, bro. One of the major things that worries this government is how diplomatic they are with regards to prosecuting high-profile people who have really dealt with the country in a wrong way. Example like Ken Oforiate's case, but I don't really understand, bro. If that's how diplomatic Ghana is going to use to resolve cases like Ken Oforiate's owner, then all the infrastructure that the current government is building, no, some Kululu people will just come to Ghana and use 1 year to destroy everything. You can build a whole nation and then one person will just come and use 1 year to bring everything down. See, it don't make any sense, bro. So Ghana will really have to really deal with corruption. They will really have to look corruption in the face like this and deal with it. So that's for racism. And this idea, the government is doing well, but it's not politics. As a moment,
I don't think he will come back again.